criminals and oftentimes are forgotten except for immediate members of their families who may not have the capability to alleviate their plight. Meets Oluremi Orija, a lady who is driven by passion for the legal profession and desire for a just and equal society.
Indigent people that obviously cannot afford legal services being charged for cases. These cases ranges from minor to capital offenses. So I'm of the opinion that regardless of the offense you're being charged for, your own side of the story must be heard. And that's the essence of rule of law, that's the essence of justice. That the parties are heard and the judge can then pronounce a judgment based on facts and law and everything before the court.
After her call to bar some years ago, she took up the challenge of bridging the gap in the administration of justice for minor cases. More captivating is the fact that she provides free legal counsel for those unable to afford services of a lawyer.
So I'd seen firsthand someone charged with very minor offenses like argument with your neighbor, fight with your neighbor, stealing of 10,000 naira, very minor misdemeanor, we call them in law, and they are in prison for so long awaiting trial because they don't have lawyers. So I've witnessed these things firsthand in the courtroom, and I thought to myself, somebody must be doing something for these guys.
Oluremi shares more compelling stories that sparked her motivation.
Been in the courtroom in 2014, and I saw a young man that was being charged for breaking crates of eggs. And the crate of eggs at the time was worth 2,000 naira. So when the court was about to remand the guy, although the court had granted him bail, right, then it was about to remand him. It was at that point I stood up and said, I would like to take his case for free. And the court obliged me. So I made an application on his behalf. So I would urge the court to allow people in the courtroom contribute this 2,000 naira, give it to the woman, and let everyone go home free. So I said to myself, so if I can do this within 10 minutes, I could do much more for a whole lot of people in the same faith in our prisons.
No doubt her good works continue to attract other young persons interested in volunteer services.
Being a lawyer that has been able to do something like this, and you see other people who are unfortunate and they are still languishing in custody and they don't, being able to help someone, it's a whole lot. It's making impact, and is how I feel I am making the society safe. Because if you get those people out in good time, it is giving them hope.
No other way to impact the society than putting a smile on the faces of others. This young man, Ugochukwu Peace, is a beneficiary of Oluremi's benevolence. Says he committed no crime but spent 2 years at the correctional center before he got help from this kind lawyer and her team.
It is 2019. Now I carry market from Upper Pass go Orile Ugomi. Police start to arrest people for Orile Ugomi. Me, I don't know what thing they happen. As I carry market, as I carry this one now police are going to arrest me.
On the other hand, the congesting correctional centers remains a top priority for the government. The facilities in Lagos attest to receiving support from this lawyer and her team.
Congestion is a public fact, and when we have inmates that don't have to stay longer than necessary within our facility, helps. The tension is reduced, the numbers are reduced, and so we can actually cater for those that are still within our facilities and custodial centers and effectively control them.
Oluremi Orija, who started practicing the legal profession in 2013, is also inspired by her late father, who was an advocate and a councillor in Ekiti State. The impact this amiable wife, mother and voice of the voiceless is a pointer to the fact that in whatever we do, showing a bit of kindness and love to others can go a long way in making the world a better place.